Namaste. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to your class today. So finding a nice tall spine, relaxing your legs. And if your legs are not relaxed, just find a couple of blocks or books or pillows or anything to put under them so that the inner groin can actually relax and your legs are not talking to you the whole time, okay? So find a comfortable seat, soft base, spine erect. You can be in a chair for a moment. Let your eyes close gently. Without changing it, beginning to notice the breath. Notice the rise and the fall of your belly or your chest. Us breathing in the universe and the universe breathing in us. That exchange of carbon, carbon dioxide, oxygen. Just feeling for a moment that exchange with the world around us. Bringing the hands into the heart, Anjali Mudra. With gratitude, we salute all the great yoga masters, past and present. Special prayer of thanksgiving for Babaji. With joy, we recognize the excellent wisdom teachings of yoga and Ayurveda. And with joy, we dedicate ourselves to self-transforming practice. So find something, think of something, usually the first thing that pops into your mind. Self-transforming practice. What do you need today? Good, that's you. And now what can you give to someone else? What can you offer up? To whom, to what? Maybe a work, maybe some people, maybe the situation. So what can you offer your practice today? All of your efforts. And then letting those thoughts slip out of our mind, down into our heart. We'll bring them back at the end of class. Join me if you can, if you're in a space where you can Om, which signifies the beginning, the end, all of creation and everything in between. Exhaling the breath out, taking in a nice full inhale before you chant. And then letting your eyes flutter open on an inhale. Just shake out your hands for a moment. Shake out the wrist. Good. And then just take the leg, whichever one you have on top, and shake out the ankle. Don't let it do anything else. Just shake it out. And then switch ankles and shake out the other one. Good. And then we're going to lie down on our right side. We're going to start moving with the left side. If you have a couple of blocks or even a pillow or something you might like to put between your knees, that might be comfortable. And if you have a pillow or a blanket or something you might like to put under your head, that also might be comfortable. So however you are lying down, good. Just bend your knees initially, pull your shins away a little bit. And then working exclusively with the left leg. You're going to pull the left leg up a little and make some circles with your ankle. Other direction. And then you're going to begin to straighten and bend the leg, just working the knee joint. Good. Bend the knee. And then now working the hip joint. Just lift and lower. Lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower. Good. And now working the shoulder to the knee. So we're really working all of the space in here that we need for our breath. So just resting your arm. I want you to exhale, come up and lift the hip. Inhale, release. Okay, we're going to do both actions at once. Exhale, up. Inhale, release. Exhale, up. Inhale, release. And exhale, up. Inhale, release. Good. Okay. Now we're going to work strictly with our left shoulder. So your right shoulder is on the floor and you're supported. So initially, I want you to bring the circle toward me. You're going to bring the circle toward me and then up and back and down. Toward me, up, back, down. Let's pause for a moment. If you find some cranking where it's really hard, just back up right there, go past it again, and then come back in the same direction. Forward and up and back and down. We're looking for smoothness, but don't force it. Just go back, pick it up, come back again. Good. And then once you've done those four, we're going back in the other direction. So let's go forward and down and back and up. Keep it as smooth as you can. Forward and down and back and up. Forward and down and back and up. Last one. Forward, down, back, up. Pull it up and then relax that shoulder completely. Good. And then taking your left hand over, hold on to your head for a moment. And now this time with a little bit of help from your arm and your hand, we're going to again raise the left leg and pull the head, and everything gets a little bit shorter on the left side. And exhale. Let's switch. Let's exhale up. Inhale. Release. We need a little bit more power in the chest region. Exhale, belly to spine. Inhale, release, breathe into your chest. Exhale, lift. Inhale, release. Last one. Exhale, lift. And inhale, release. Good. And then if you have your block in, just stretch your legs all the way out. Maybe take your block out, but just keep the left leg up a little bit. Don't let it fall. Okay, so just keeping the left leg and left foot is up. Just that little bit. Good. And then raise the left leg with the toes staying toward me for just a moment. Toes staying toward me. Go ahead and point your left hand at your toes. And then with just the force of the body, exhale, lift, inhale, lower. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower, and exhale, lift, inhale, lower. Good. Release the leg. Draw both knees in, taking your left hand, put it on the floor, rock out toward the arm, and push yourself up. Good. And we're going to go to the other side. Okay. So be sure you take your blocks with you. Bend your knee, put one block between your knee, maybe a block. You can use a pillow, anything underneath your head. A pillow would probably be more comfortable than this block. Good, but the block seems to be the right height for my shoulder, not to feel any pressure. Good, okay, great. So initially, let's start with our foot and ankle. 1, 2, 3, 4. Other direction. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. And then straighten the knee. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. And then we're just going to lift the hip. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. And now we're going to come up to the waist area, just laying your right hand along your whole body. Just lay it down. Good. And this leg is just kind of up for a moment. You can rest it on your block for a minute, get yourself situated. Okay. Both shins are out as if you were seated in a chair. So there's a right angle between your thigh bones and your shins. Good. So we're going to exhale up and bring up the leg and inhale, release. Exhale, up. And inhale, release. So shorten the space along the whole intercostals. Exhale, up. Inhale, release. Exhale, up. And inhale, release. Good. Just rest for a moment. And then go ahead and drape your right arm over, get underneath your head so that you can help yourself as you come up. Good. Let's exhale once, pull the belly into the spine. Inhale into the chest area, keep the belly in. Exhale, lift everything. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. And exhale, lift. And inhale, lower. Good. Just rest your arm down alongside you. Now we'll take out the block and stretch the legs out. Really stretch the legs out. My top leg does not go on top of the other one, and it will make my hip be too loosey-goosey later in the day. So my leg is just right out. Good. And then lift, just the power of the body, and lower. Lift and lower. See what breath feels most comfortable to you. Lift and lower, and lift and lower. Good. And then bend both knees, just place them up at a right angle. The knees can touch here because there's not so much pressure now on the hip socket. Good. And then taking your right hand, put it on the floor, lean out toward it, and then begin to press up. Come up. Good. And then coming into your comfortable seat for one more moment. Good. So if you have blocks, just have them close, Sitting up nice and tall, spine erect, belly in. Breathing. Good. Go ahead and extend out both legs. Just extending them out for a moment. And some of us might want to put a block right underneath our knees somewhere and just get our knees and our hamstrings out of this equation. Lift your bottom and set yourself down on your sit bones. And then begin to lean over, but feel your tailbone going back, pubic bone headed down. Tailbone going back, pubic bone going down. Just come to where you can look forward for a moment. Good. Flex your feet. Heels are definitely on the floor. Good. So notice the pelvic floor. Notice how you're balancing on the pelvic floor between tailbone, sit bone, pubic bone, tailbone, sit bone, pubic bone. Just notice how that is. Good. And then if you don't invert, you might not do this, okay? You might just stay where you are. You might even just take a little twist to either side. We're all gonna twist in a moment, but for a moment, the rest of us are gonna let our spine curl, draw the chin into the chest, the crown of the head facing the floor, getting a stretch in your upper back, tuck the chin into the chest, and then draw yourself back upright. Balance again on the sit bones, pubic bone, tailbone, both reaching down, tailbone back, pubic bone down. Good. And then a little twist over to the left. Come back into the center. Try to inhale for your twist so you have some resistance. Inhale. Exhale, return. One more time, either side. Inhale. Keep looking at me, not taking your head into the twist to fake us off about how far we're going in our twist. And release. One more time. Inhale. Keep looking at me, look at me. And exhale. Great. And then remove our blocks for a moment. Take the soles of the feet together. Place the blocks underneath your knees. So again, we're looking for softness in the groin area. If these muscles, if you reach in and those tendons from your adductors are all tight, the tendon from your psoas and your pectineus, if those are all tight, it's not going to serve you finding a comfortable seat. So nice and tall. And today our goal is to have a nice, comfortable seat. It's Sunday. We do more pranayama, more meditation, a little less asana. So our asana, which really means seat, asiento, we need to look for a comfortable seat. Any asana should be calm enough for us to sit in and have a moment of meditation. So finding comfort in your legs. Good. And then go ahead and remove the right block. Just take it over to the side and place your right leg back in the other direction. Good. So just a little internal rotation and then external rotation. Good. Tall spine up on your sit bones, belly to spine. And then take a little twist out to the left side. Exhale, come back into the center. Good. And just bring that leg back. That little bit of rotation helps the acetabulum to be more comfortable. Good. And then take your block maybe to the other side and this one back. Good. Sitting up tall, you may be leaning over to your right sit bone. It's okay, we're not going to do any other big important moves here. But your goal is to be even on both sit bones. Well, that's maybe not a goal. That may not even be possible with your structure. So it's to be as comfortable as you can with both sit bones headed down toward the ground. Good, and a little twist over to the right. And then on your next exhale, let it go. Good. And then again, both feet together, nice together. Nice tall spine. Good. And then just draw your legs into Sukhasana, into your house, into your comfortable pose. And if your knees aren't down, no big deal. Put something under them so the groin can relax. Just let your groin relax. Okay, nice and tall. You may want to put a pillow underneath your sit bones and lift them a little bit. So everything that you need to get a comfortable seat. So if our legs are comfortable as we move into the pranayama, it helps us to be able to focus on the particulars of the practice, of the techniques, okay? So we want a comfortable seat. Let's work with one other area that often holds issues for us, our shoulders, because we'll find ourselves in practice starting to go like that, okay? So let's go ahead and take up the left arm. Face the palm to your midline. Good. And keep both sit bones down and reach over to the side. And then open the arm and close the arm. And open the arm and close the arm. And open the arm and close the arm. Take the arm all the way over into a circle, bend the elbow, and relax that arm. Just leave that arm where it is. Good. Bringing up the right arm. Leaning over to the left. Opening the arm. Closing the arm. Opening the arm. Closing the arm. Opening the arm. Closing the arm. Opening. Closing all the way over, bend the elbow, and let your shoulders just sink down. Shoulder blades sinking down toward the hips. Hips are grounded, and spine is lifting up out of this solid base. Good. So we're going to move into the next part of our practice, which will be cleansing practices, balancing practices, as well as some pranayama. Okay, so we're going to start with the 4 purifications. And if you don't know them, just follow along as best you can. And those of you who know them, just go a little bit smoother, softer. You can do them on your own. You can do as many as you normally do. So the 4 purifications, Baba Haridas gave us these purifications to really purify body, mind, soul. Before we begin our practice, it's kind of like setting the table for our meditation practice. Okay? So the 4 purifications are Nadi Shodhana, which means cleanse the energies, which is often called alternate nasal breathing. And I'll guide you through that. And it really cleanses this whole area, our whole chest area and the brain, our whole chest area and the brain. That's prana body. The next practice is Kapalabhati, which is skull shining, and it works with this area, everything that goes up and out of the body, speaking, singing, laughing, burping, belching, vomiting, everything that comes up. And the sense perceptions coming in, okay? That's Udana body. The next one is Samana, working at the abdominal region, Agni Sardoti, washing with fire. If you're on the first 3 days of your menstrual cycle, if you have a bleeding ulcer, if you have a lot of heat in your belly, this is not the practice for you today, maybe another day. If you're pregnant, it's probably not going to feel good, although it is the practice I use for strengthening the abdominis, the transverse abdominis, so maybe, depends. And then that works with transformation, samana. And then the last practice, Ashwini Mudra, horse seal, where we work with squeezing and releasing the anal sphincter. Yes, that same anal sphincter you tighten up to not go to the bathroom, right? Because it's like a plunger. Squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze. And then everything releases and we get grounded, okay? So that Ashwini Mudra is working with a downward flow of energy, apanavaya. So excretion, any kind of elimination from the body, anything going out, 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 childbirth, menstruation, out, anything, okay? So we're going to, as we balance those 4 vayus, the 5th one, which is our circulatory system of the whole body, beyond vayu, is also balanced. So we're going to work with those 4 purifications, and then we're going to do a couple of pranayama, and then we're going to move into our meditation this morning. Okay? So nice tall spine. Let's begin with an abdominal breath. So exhale, belly to spine. Inhale, belly expands. Exhale, belly to spine. Don't let it get big. Don't let it go into the chest. Inhale, belly expands. Exhale, keep it in the belly. Inhale. 2 more. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, keep the belly in. Breathe into your chest right here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, keep the belly in. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. I'm doing my arms. I'm just showing you where it goes. You do not have to do your arms. Inhale and exhale, but you might feel good, okay? And then relax. We're going to put those 2 practices together for our yogic breath. Ready? Okay. Exhale the breath out, belly to spine. Inhale, belly drops down. Come into the chest. Bring that same inhale into the chest. Chest expands. Exhale, slowly, smoothly, gently, even. 2 more yogic breaths. Belly to spine, little tug at the end. Relax the belly. Breath comes in. Draw that same inhale up into the chest. Let the chest expand. Top of the inhale, slight pause. Exhale, slowly, gently, smoothly, evenly. Bottom of the exhale, a little tug to the belly. Release. Belly goes out, chest goes out. Belly comes in all by itself because there is not anything there anymore. Chest expands. Pop, pause, and exhale. Slowly, gently. Now we're going to add on our hands for alternate nasal. Bringing in the index and the middle finger, using your thumb for your right nostril and your ring finger for your left nostril. Bending in the middle finger and the index finger, middle and index, If that's uncomfortable for your hand for any reason, just place those two fingers, middle and index, at your third eye, and you still have your thumb free for the right nostril, ring finger free for the left nostril. Okay? Good. So however you're going to do that, we're going to go back to that full yogic breath, and we're going to layer on the hands. And if you get too complicated, just stop and imagine yourself drawing the air in that nostril, out the nostril, in the nostril, out the nostril. Makes a horseshoe, okay? So let's start together. I'll walk through a couple of rounds and you'll do 3 or 4, maybe even 5 on your own, okay? Exhaling the breath all the way out, belly to spine. Close off the right nostril. Inhale left, belly, chest. Feel the chest expand, belly recedes. Top of the inhale, you'll do a slight pause as you switch fingers. Exhale right. Slow, smooth, gentle exhalation. Bottom of the exhale, a slight pause. Inhale right, belly, chest. Top of the inhale, a slight pause. Switch fingers. Exhale left. That makes 1 round. Bottom of the exhale, a slight pause. Inhale left, belly, chest. Top of the inhale, slight pause. Switch fingers. Exhale right. Get to the bottom, slight pause. Inhale right. Top of the inhale, pause. Switch fingers. Exhale left. You only switch fingers at the top of the inhale. All right, exhale. Now my voice will peel off and you continue inhaling, starting left side, making a horseshoe on your own. Try to smooth out the breath, keeping it even. Keep focusing on the breath, on the technique. If you've got the technique down, focus at the third eye, Agnya Chakra. Keep going. And the next time you take an exhale out of your left nostril, take your time. Finishing the practice, drawing your hand to your leg. Softening into the practice and noticing the effects. Then on your next inhale, letting your eyes flutter open. The next purification, Kapalabhati, skull shining. It's a forced exhalation followed by a natural inhalation. So we force the breath out and the breath comes in, expands. We force the breath out and the breath comes in and expands. But instead of using your low belly to do that, I want you to try to use the circumference of your diaphragm, okay? So go ahead and put your hands somewhere around your low ribs, thumbs to the back. And for this practice, we're gonna exhale the breath out, take in again about 80% of breath, and then we're gonna begin. You're gonna hear your forced exhalation and then not hear your inhale. Just let the breath come back in to your hands, so keeping it low, okay? So exhaling the breath all the way out, pull the belly into the spine. Inhale, fill the chest, about 80%, hands will spread. Keep going. Complete. Exhale all the way, all the way, all the way, all the way, all the way. Good. And then just release your hands. So that was one round in slow motion. Normally the practice goes a little more quickly, but you want each inhale to come in naturally and force it out. If you start to run out of breath, you're doing the practice improperly. You need to get your inhale needs to come in and then you push it out. So that's why I have you working here, not here. This is sympathetic. I don't want you to work up here. I want you to work in the whole circumference of the diaphragm, okay? So this time we're going to do another time. You can do 20, 25 forced exhalations, okay? So tall spine. Your focus right now is just on the practice, the techniques itself, unless you've been doing it for a while. And then your focus is at Ajna Chakra, as if the diaphragm itself were tapping, tapping, tapping the whole of the third eye region, okay? Ready? So let's start by exhaling the breath all the way out. You're welcome to use your hands if you like. Inhale into the chest. All out, all out, all out. Close your eyes, sit with it. How does your head feel? That's the question. I would like for you to feel as if someone just vacuumed out your head. Good. Opening the eyes, inhale. So one last practice. You can take it slowly, like the first one. Take it like the second one, which is a little more pump. But as long as you make sure every single time you got an inhale, so that you aren't ever running out of breath, okay? So let's start together, 25, 30, forced exhalations. And you can do it very gentle. If all of a sudden, if you're feeling lightheaded or anything, don't do it. Don't do it. But if you're feeling, this is interesting, and I feel like I could go to lightheaded, then do it really lightly, like a rabbit. I know you can't hear me because I can barely hear myself, but the exhale is there with force. but it is so light. So not to vitiate the vata, not to get the vata, the air element, aggravated, okay? So check in with yourself. Another one of those rounds would feel really good. Another one of those rounds would really get my air element out of whack. So where are you? Decide. And then for those of us who want to continue, do one more. The rest of you can go back into just your 3-part yogic breath. Inhale belly, inhale chest, long exhale. Okay? So one more round of something. Exhaling the breath all the way out. Inhale to begin. Check in how you're feeling. How is the practice affecting you? Relax your body. Relax your mind. Relax the breath. Okay, our next practice, Agni Sardoti, fire wash. As I said, not good if you have first few days of your menstrual cycle, if you have any kind of inflammation in that region. It's to do every day when you don't have inflammation, so you never have inflammation, okay? It's really to massage all of the organs in our pelvic basket. It's really good for women that have menstrual issues, but not when they're on their cycle, okay? So if you have particulars, you can talk to me after class when we get together, okay? So for those of us who feel like we can do this fire wash, all spine, good. And then take your lizard tail back behind you, just push your tail back. So your pubic bone heads to the floor, tailbone goes back, put your hands on your knees. Exhale the breath all the way out, take the belly to the spine. Release, pull, no breathe. Release and pull, release and pull, release and pull, release and pull. As soon as you need an inhale, just pull that breath in, come right on up, sit up. Relax your shoulders, relax everything. Breathe. And let's go back for one more. Agni Sardoti, washing with fire. For those of us for whom it's appropriate. Okay? Inhale where you are. Start your journey forward. Pubic bone dives down, tailbone dives back, bend. Then pull, release. No breath. As soon as you need a breath, come right on up. Breathe. Relax your shoulders, relax your arms. Just close your eyes and notice the effect. And then on your next inhale, open the eyes. Our next practice, Ashwini Mudra. Okay, Ashwini Mudra, horse seal. So with that particular practice, no demo, we're tightening and releasing the anal sphincter. Same rhythm you were using for your Agnisar at your belly, but this time you're going to inhale a breath, keep it low, don't draw it up into your sympathetic region, right? Keep the breath low down here. And then tighten and release rhythmically your anal sphincter. When you need to exhale that inhale breath out without force, gently relax the breath and the last contraction. Okay, so let's do that together. Exhale the breath out. Inhale in the breath. Keep it right about here, right at your solar plexus. Contract and release the anal sphincter rhythmically. Same rhythm you were using for the last practice. And then when you're ready and you need to exhale that breath out gently, not forcefully, release the contraction, release the breath. Sit with it. Good. This is really good for the pelvic floor. It's good for prostate issues. It's good for menstrual issues. Not good to do if you have hemorrhoids right now that are active and inflamed. And I know you didn't because you feel terrible. So I'm sure you did not. Okay. Let's do that one more time. Exhale the breath all the way out. Belly pulls to spine. Inhale the breath in a little. Hold it low. Contract and release the anal sphincter rhythmically. Your whole pelvic floor may bounce. Fine. Whatever you need to contract that anal sphincter. You have two, one voluntary, one involuntary. You're good. And then release the contraction with the breath gently, gently, gently. And just sit with the effects of the practice for a breath or two. Good. Well, letting your eyes flutter open. I want to do one pranayama, and it's kind of weird, and you're going to maybe laugh, and if you have somebody else in the room with you, you'll definitely laugh. It's called Ujjayi, but it's the gross method. There's the subtle method, which kind of sounds a little like Darth Vader that you're pulling here, but this is the gross method. It's really good to work through emotion. It's really good, okay? So you're going to take in 5 sobbing sips, filling up the chest, the belly stays in. 5 sobbing sips, and then a slow, gentle exhale out the nose. The sips are also in through the nose, all right? So just listen for a second. I'm going to exhale the breath, and you can also laugh at me doing it. Exhale it out. And then a slow exhale. I'm just sobbing in. 5 sips. Ready to do it with me? Pulse spine. Exhale the breath all the way out. Let's inhale. Constrict the throat. Constrict that whole area. Exhale. This is really good for thyroid, parathyroid, hypothalamus is getting the direct hit up in the head. Okay. Inhale, sips. And exhale out your nose. Yes, you can cough and choke and everything. One more time. It's really good to release emotion. One more. Exhale the breath all the way out. We're going to inhale in 5 sobs. And exhale the breath all the way. Good. And one last pranayama practice. One last practice. This is called sitkari. It means hissing breath. Okay? It's a cooling breath. We're going to inhale into the belly region. We're going to put our tongue right where the teeth meet the upper palate. We're going to put a big smile on our face and draw the breath in through them, through the mouth. We're going to hold the breath for just 2 or 3 seconds and then release the breath through the nose. Okay? So hissing breath, sitkari, all right? Let's try that together. It's a belly breath, inhale mouth, exhale nose, right? Okay, tall spine. Exhale, breath all the way out through the nose. Put your tongue at the top, big smile. Hiss the breath in and exhale. Out the nose, belly to spine. Just into the belly, not drawing it up into the chest. Inhale. Slight pause. Exhale out your nose, belly to spine. Good. Hissing. Pause. Exhale out your nose, belly to spine. 2 more. Inhale, belly, hissing. Big smile. Exhale out your nose, belly comes in. Last one. Inhale, belly. Exhale. Close your mouth. Exhale the breath out through your nose. Sit with the practice for just a moment or two, feeling the coolness now in your head region, as opposed to the heat that you felt with the Ujjayi in the head region. Just notice. And we're going to move right into our meditation. Okay? So making sure your seat is comfortable. Very small movements, as little as you can possibly move. Our practice again is on the 5 elements. We're going to start with the gross, move to the subtle, and with that subtle state of mind, take a Savasana. Okay? So we're going to do the hand mudras. So starting with Prithvi, earth. Taking the thumb to the ring finger. Thumb to the ring finger. Other fingers are extended out and resting on the back of the foot. So earth element. Thinking of earth in the body, which is our structure, our building blocks. Our muscles and tendons, our organs, our cartilage, our bones, the thick fascia, all of our building blocks. Outside of the body, wood, rocks, minerals. Think of the building blocks outside. The seed syllable, which you can repeat silently to yourself until the next element. Lum, 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 lum. Water, up, our next element. Taking the tip of the thumb to the tip of the pinky finger, extending out the other fingers and relaxing them on the back of the leg, back of the hand. Liquidity in the body, the blood and the lymph, the saliva, the tears, all of the liquid in the body. The rivers, the streams, the ocean, the rain, the fog. Water element inside and out. The seed syllable, you can repeat it silently to yourself. Vang, 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 vang. The next element, fire. Placing the thumb at the first knuckle of the ring finger. First knuckle of the ring finger. Resting the back of the hands on the thighs. Fire inside the body. Metabolic fire, cellular fire, digestive fire, Fire in the eyes. Fire, heat in the body, warmth. Outside of the body, the sun. Fire itself. Forest fires, controlled fires, uncontrolled fires. Fire being necessary for new growth, for many things. Fire inside the body, fire outside the body. Seed syllable. Rung, 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 rung. Air element. Taking the index finger to the base of the thumb and just wrapping the thumb around the second knuckle, the second joint of the index finger. Resting the back of the hands on the legs. Air element. Movement in the body. Moving our digestion through our digestive tract. Moving the blood through the veins. Moving the lymph over and around the body. Providing movement for the organs. Outside of the body, the wind. The air we breathe. The wind on the ocean. Wind in the hurricanes. Wind in the storms. Or a soft, gentle breeze. Wind, air, pran, vayu, inside and out. Seed syllable. Yum, 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 yum. Akash, space, ether, the fifth element. Tip of the thumb to the tip of the middle finger, and then resting the back of the hands on the legs. Space inside the body, in our organs, in our orifices. Space that the whole body process moves through. Space around us, in our room, in our house, in our village. Space in the universe, space for creation to unfold. Seed syllable. Hum, 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 hum. Releasing the mudra and letting yourself gently find Savasana, corpse pose, lying on your back with your whole body relaxed. Don't feel trapped by your mat. Feel like a starfish, but keep the hands below the heart and rest into the floor. Surrender. Letting the whole body soften into the floor. Let gravity take your shoulders, your hips, your calves, your heels, your hands, your head. The breath is soft and shallow, just enough to sustain. For just a moment, bringing your intention and your offering out of your heart space into the mind, and ponder those thoughts for a moment. Beginning to bring some movement into the fingers and the toes. Wriggling your face, your nose, your ears, your eyes. Opening the mouth wide as if you were yawning. Maybe a nice overhead stretch. And then bend your knees, put your feet on the floor, shift your bottom off the floor and over to one side, and then rock out toward me. Press the floor away slowly. Let your head be the last thing to come up. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Out of embryo. And into Sukhasana. Easy pose. Comfortable seat. Letting everything we did integrate. Asana, pranayama, pratyahara, shatkarma, dharana, concentration. Bringing the hands into the heart, Anjali. Any merit we might have earned this morning, we lift it up to the welfare of all sentient. Get those thoughts together. Let them go back down into your heart, and from your heart symbolically out into the palms of your hands. Lift them up. Let them go off into the universe. Just let go. Bringing the hands back into the heart. Anjali. Hari Om Tat Sat. Namaste. Okay, I'm coming to you. Let me fix where you can speak. Hold on. Okay, so everybody can now unmute him or herself. Let me move to gallery so I can see you all. Great. Okay. That's very sweet. Okay. So, any questions? Today I packed it full of practices besides asana. So you might have some questions about the way we did the 4 purifications or anything about the 4 purifications or the Ujjayi gross practice, that practice of sobbing and bringing the air in that way, or the practice of shitali, sitkari. We didn't do shitali, we did sitkari, the hissing breath. Yeah, Marta.
Yes, in this, in the breath that we make like this.
But not like that.
Yeah.
I just
Do
saw
you
you
breathe?
sympathetically.
Do you breathe with your chest or with your belly also?
It's just with your chest, but remember when I talk about a chest breath, I'm talking about the chest breath being here, not here. Like you're gonna get sympathetic if you go up in here, right? You want to start here and sip it in. So watch. So it's happening in the biggest part of the chest, in the like your barrel part of your chest, not up high and up in here, right?
Thank you.
It requires a lot of practice. I mean, it's not that easy of a breath, but it's really good for releasing emotion. Super good, right?
And is that through your nose, that breathing for that particular Ujjayi?
The Ujjayi is through your nose, and making that sobbing sound. So you really constricted your throat a lot, right? For that to happen. Your throat is super constricted. Let's see if I can let you see my throat. You can see that thyroid area moves. Can you see that? If I'm close enough, maybe. So this is vibrating, this is moving, and that really pushes back into the Vishuddha and creates a vibration there. It's really good for breaking up. It's like sobbing and breaking up emotions, crying. It's like instead of crying, that's what you want to do, right?
Thank you.
So I have a question about Ujjayi gross too. I was trying to explain it to somebody and they were definitely not getting the idea of closing their throat. And I was wondering if there's any other prompts that you...
Yes, there are great prompts. Thank you for that, Pam. Everybody cough. Okay, and cough reverse. That same thing, as if you were going to fog a mirror and then fog it reverse. That feeling that you get right there, that's the feeling that you want. So you want that little bit of restriction. Some people will do it by bowing their head, but I found that generally if I tell people to bow their head a lot, they over bow their head and they're not really doing anything except pressing that in. They're not learning how to use the muscles there, because you have a lot of muscles in that area that can help you to achieve this, right? So the other thing that's really good to do is clear your throat. That's where you want the pressure. So. Right where I cleared the throat. Okay. And it's through the nose.
And yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, okay. Any other questions about Ujjayi, gross method? It is gross. And you know, when we first do it in the yoga teacher training, a lot of times I get tickled even because everybody sounds like little puppies. You know, it's really cute to listen to everybody. So you have to the first time just like laugh. I mean, you just have to laugh. How silly does your teacher sound doing that sound, right? So you just kind of get over it, and then you think, oh, that really does something in there, right? It helps that area break up these knots. And like if you know people, for example, that have had a hard time speaking their mind, like really have a hard time speaking their mind, this practice can help that immensely. Like someone who always is saying, well, okay, well, whatever you think, right? That comes from that that inability to say, I really don't want to do that, right? But they can't speak their mind. And so it's a mental thing, emotional thing, but it's at a physical level because it is now manifested physically. They're saying, oh, that's fine. And they go do something that they don't want to do. That's physical. They're doing it, right? So instead of being able to speak their mind, and so this practice, moving in that area of Vishuddha, the chakra that's right in the throat, right in the very back, in your spine, that vibrates that area and breaks up that tightness, that knot, and lets you expand your way of saying. Yeah, it's a very powerful practice for breaking up emotions. It's really good. And then Shitali, there is another breath that I didn't teach you called Shitali, which is an easier breath sometimes for people to get if you don't, if you roll your tongue, right? If you know how to roll your tongue, rolling your tongue is genetic. You either do it or you don't. It's not because you're talented or beautiful. You can either, or you can't, right? So the other one, everybody can do. So I always teach the other one first, the hissing breath, because everybody can go. I have my tongue there, right at the roof of the mouth where the teeth meet, and I have a big smile. So I draw the air all the way across the cilia of the tongue, and that cools it. And then I lay the tongue down in the mouth and exhale out the nose. Right? Do that with me one more time. So let's just exhale the breath out. Good. And release. And try to get it down into the belly because it's going to have a tendency to want to go right here as well. So you don't want it here. This is an abdominal breath, okay? And then belly pulls back to the spine. Inhale, belly. Exhale. And then that in between, that little laying the tongue down in the mouth and just feel it. Everybody, can you feel how cool your mouth gets? And remember that your mouth is where you have your mouth and your nose and all of that, and your brain is sitting in that cavity. So this is helping your hypothalamus, which is your temperature regulator, right? It's just kind of cooling off a little. So when you have anger, when you have heat, women with hot flashes, this is the practice, right? So you can do it with the hissing, or you can do it through the rolled tongue. So the same thing. Belly breath into through the rolled tongue, relax the tongue in the mouth, and then exhale out the nose. So either way of doing either Shitali or Sitkari are both cooling abdominal breaths, inhaling through an open mouth into the belly and exhaling out the nose. And those practices are super good. Like when you get angry or upset, or you just need to cool down, like your mama would say, just cool down. So if you're ever in that position, that's the breath. Basket and go to the bathroom, sit on top of the toilet, and just do that breath for a while until you are cooler, calmer, and more collected and can be in the room with people. Any questions about the other 4 purifications of the Nadi Shodan? We've done several times, and of course we've done Kapalabhati and Agni Sardoti, Ashwini Mudra. Ashwini Mudra, the horse seal, takes a long time for us to isolate our anal sphincter. We're used to tightening everything. So I know when I first heard of the practice, my whole bottom bounced. I think I probably You know, it was just like bouncy, bouncy, bouncy. I think I used my gluteus maximus, my gluteus minimus, everything in the whole bottom part was like bouncy, bouncy, bouncy. I'm sure I was coming an inch off the floor at least every time I squeezed my anal sphincter. And I can remember one day when I was in the Redwood and I isolated it, and I think I did, you know me, I think I announced to the class, I just isolated my anal sphincter today. And not during class, but at the end of class, because it had been like 6 years. So this was not a quick practice, you know, this was not like 3 months later I had that practice down. I thought all those other months that I had isolated it, and I had not until it was truly isolated. So it's very humbling to realize that you have no control over your anal sphincter. Very humbling, like when our toes and we want to touch each other and we can't, right? It's very humbling to know I can't put my index toes together. Oh, I can't put my pinky toes together. Oh no. All of this is very humbling when we realize that this is a body that I've been in for 69 years, right? And how in the heck do I not know it better than that? Yeah. Any questions at all about any of the practices? Any questions about the meditation, about the mudra, about the seed mantras, about anything? Yeah, Maggie. Unmute.
Cannot hear me.
I got you. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. About the mantras in the 5 elements, because I haven't read them. I can hear you, but I would like to repeat them.
It's in a Sanskrit letter with a symbol on top, which means and it's a short letter, so it's not like, sometimes people will read them, and that's why I don't really show them very much. It's like the L, it's a la, and it's a la, because a short A in Sanskrit is a sound, not an ah sound. An ah is a long A. And it's got the dot at the top, right, where it has that resonance and works with the third eye and the whole resonance in the head area. So it's really lung, lung. But a lot of people say lamb because they'll see it, somebody has written it L-A-M. And so they'll say lamb, vam, ram. You know, it hurts my soul to even repeat it. So it's lung is the base, and that's the lowest. Lung, and then coming up vung with a V, vung, and then coming up rung with an R at the heart, and then coming up to Vishud, young with a Y, with a Y, and then coming up to the head, hung with an H, hung. And they're all short vowels, so they're all short A's or and they all have the on them. So it's just L, V, R, Y, yay, and then H. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And then at the very end, usually if I save time for it, but I have never had time as we've done this, is a big om, you know, like at the very end up to all the way, just an om to bring it all together. Because supposedly all 50 letters of the Sanskrit alphabet are included in om. Everything that ever happened from the beginning of creation to when creation no longer is in om. Ishvara, another word for Ishvara, which is God, is om. So om is like, can't get any better. So it's really good to end it all with om. But I look at my clock and my time is up and I stop. That's what I've taught my students, and they all know. My teacher students who are in the room, Cam and Nayana, that are here today, they know, like, clock rules, you know, it's time to stop.
Okay. Thank you, Ginger.
You're so welcome, Maggie. Thank you. So it's so nice to see everyone. It's a nice small class today. This is the smallest class I think we've ever had. This is beautiful. I like a Sunday small class. Then I can see every single person. Yeah. I don't see Amelia yet, or Hope, but I know you're there, and I don't see Tina's face. But I see Tina's face, beautiful face, but I don't see her. But to everyone, thank you so much. Yes, you're so welcome for all the theory, all the explanation, Radha. I love teaching yoga, in case you had not noticed that.
We can notice.
I love hanging out with you. I love hanging out with you. Okay. So have a wonderful Sunday. We have sutra class today. If anyone is interested at 12:30 Guatemalan time, 12:30. And
When?
today on Sunday at 12:30, we study the Yoga Sutras. We're in book 3. I think we're on Sutra 19. And everybody is welcome. We have a little pattern of how we do. We chant the sutra. We chant an invocation. We meditate for 5 minutes, and then we chant a few sutras before the sutra that we're in, and then we read that sutra, some commentaries on it, and then we talk about it and discuss it. And we're in book 3, which is the Vibhuti-pad, which is the powers. So we're in a big book.
What time is it there? What time is it there, Kamalesh?
It's 12:30 here. Right now it's 1 hour more. We're on mountain time for the States right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's for you guys, it's 11:30. But we have people from New Zealand joining us. Lizzie is there, and then we have Oni from Paris joining us. And so we're trying to get a time that makes it available for everybody. And Philippe, who works during the week, can come on a Sunday. So yeah. So we've tried to get a time that help, and because Sunday's now kind of a easy day, it's nice to stop in the middle of the day and study sutra. So if you just WhatsApp me or email me and I'll send you the link, okay?
Thanks.
Jean, we'll miss you. I did get your message, Jean, that you can't come today. You're doing family. We'll wait for you next week, okay? All right, everybody, much love.